Like I used to use light mode. I used to use light mode on like something like really stupid, dude. And it was like always, I think it was like iMessages or some shit. Yeah, it was iMessage. It was just like my default phone settings were light mode, dude. And that shit was terrible. Anyways, we are live now. I'm here with Ozbets. Liam, how are we doing today?
Good, mate. Good. Excited for the NBA Cup. How
Yeah.
about you? How are you going?
Dude, I think shit like this is just more fun, than like your average Joe Slate. Like, yeah, there's like less value for sure, but like I don't know. I think the beauty of like betting is like getting into the nitty gritty, trying to be like a coach, trying to like it's like betting playoffs, even though it's like way harder. It's just like more like fun to like discuss and go in depth about it.
I agree 100%.
Sicko shit right here. Well, anyways, Liam, let's see. We got Heat Magic. I believe the Heat are at full health. Even like Drew Smith, I believe, is playing, correct?
Yeah, the only player for Miami that's not active is Terry Rozier due to some gambling.
Really, dude? Terry's not playing?
Mm.
Time to bet Magic spread then.
And also, Kasparis, Jakučionis, and Myron Gardner are both assigned to the G League. But other than that, they are completely healthy.
He's in the G League? I was gonna say, dude, he was supposed to be pretty good, wasn't he? Jakučionis.
I think the problem with him in college, he was like purely a pick and roll guy, and Miami don't run any pick and rolls, so in their offense, he's sort of nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's even got a chance to prove anything. What's going on, Deft? Said we got some Aussies in the building. Yes, sir. Good old Aussies. My guy, let's make some money. I agree. Yes, sir, Daft. Yes, sir. Damn, you got Anthony Black at over 10.5 rebounds and assists for plus 550, dude. What book? That's actually insane. How much of last season's low scoring and the elimination cup games are you fellas factoring in for today's game? No doubt. I think that's actually a great point. Like just in general, the higher the stakes, slower the pace, the more defensive effort and stuff. So no, I think that's actually I think that's valid. I wonder if I feel like the Heat might be an exception though, just because the Heat they want to just run. Liam, what's your take on that? I think that's a good point though.
I think that is true, but on the other end of the spectrum, I think Magic would be like the complete other side where they try to slow down the game. So I think it'll be interesting to watch early what team can get what team can like impose their style of play on the game early, I'd say.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a good point. So like, I mean, Heat Magic, Liam, I know you're an over-under better, a spread better. I know it's a Heat game and all, but does 236 in a cup game sound a little bit high to you?
It does sound a touch high. I definitely lean under on that, but same token, Heat they're the fastest paced in the league, and I don't think it's stopping. I don't think they're going to change the way they play, because the way they play their offense is literally predicated on pace and getting the ball, pushing the ball up the court. You go into your offense, swing, invade space. It's all the stuff that Grizzlies did last year. Same coach. So I lean under, but I still think it should be pretty high.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get into a little bit. Oh, nice. Great start, eh? Okay, we're got the light back up. I have like this thing like sitting on top of my monitor, so it's just pretty loose. I like kick a little thing and it just goes flying. Yeah. So let's get into like a little game breakdown, Liam. I guess let's start on the Magic side of the ball. I know these teams played very recently. Banchero, pretty quiet game. I know Franz played, but only 8 field goal attempts in 20 minutes. Confirmed, still on a minute restriction. Liam, do you want to give some opinions on like the Magic side of the ball and some Heat defensive scheme opinions?
Yeah. So first of all, I think it's important. Franz out changes everything. Like if you've been betting on Magic this season, when a player with a really high usage rate goes out, that means other guys have to chip in to get that. So for example, with Franz off the floor this season, Bane has a 5% rise in usage rate. Paolo has a 4% rise in usage rate. Suggs has a 6% rise in usage rate. I think it's important to remember with Suggs, actually. So Suggs has played 478 minutes this season. He's only played 46 minutes with Franz off the court. So those guys' rotations are like very aligned throughout the year. So I think a better way to look at it is with Franz off and Paolo on, what are these guys doing? And then you see Suggs actually has a very, very small sample size. It's only 17 minutes, but has a 2% usage drop. Whereas Bain, you get 100-minute usage, and with Franz off, Paolo on, Bain's usage goes up 2%. Paolo's usage is still up 4%, of course, with Franz off and Paolo on. But so what I think that says is it'll be Suggs will be around the mark, what he usually is, and Paolo and Bain will get like a 4 to 5% rise in usage tonight. But what you said about schemes is important, because I remember watching the game the other day against Miami. They were doubling Paolo in the post, which I know he only played 20 minutes, but he only took 8 field goal attempts. And those field goal attempts, I actually remember because I had an over in that game. I got that wrong because I made an educated guess on his minutes based on last year. Got it completely wrong. Of the 8 field goal attempts, both threes were like shot clock heaves. So really, in the flow of the offense, 6 field goal attempts. But it's also important to remember France did play that game.
Yep. No, that's a good point. But I think that your point of him getting doubled is like even stronger though, without Franz on the court, just someone who can beat a tilted defense pretty easily. So yeah, would you have an opinion? Yeah. So I know the minute restriction stuff came in. Do you have an opinion on Banchero at 3.5 assists? What would you have Paulo playing?
I have him at 28.
That's what I would have him at too. Because I know they said minute limit still, but I think game 3 back, especially given that there's some decent stakes to it, I would say 28 too.
Yeah, because he's played 20 and then he went up to 24. And then I don't think they'll go higher than 5-6 minutes as an increase. Like, they're clearly being slow with him.
Yep. He's coming off of a groin, correct? Yep. So soft tissue, lower body.
He also hasn't looked very good since he's come back, I will add. He looks very rusty.
Yep. Agreed. So one person, I remember, not saying I'm going to bet on this guy, but I know Tyus Jones actually saw pretty good minute increase without Franz for whatever reason. I know he played like a decent amount in the second half, decent amount last game overall, 21 minutes. Looks like no one else was like out or anything. Do you have any intrigue whatsoever in Tyus Jones stuff or no?
Not really. I'll be honest.
Not a Tyus guy. Okay.
No.
What last thing I want to know your opinion on, because let's see, I guess I didn't even check to see what Bain assists by. Bain at 4.5. I think that Paulo just playing is going to make everyone's assist numbers super low because of how sticky the damn ball is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Wendell Carter at 11.5 points. I have a pretty strong lean to his under here. I want your thoughts on this one.
I would lean under. I do agree. But yeah, I'd lean under 11. Yeah, probably. I actually haven't done my projections and stuff for this game. I'm going to do that in like 10 minutes. So why do you like the under?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty, I guess maybe wait for the starting lineup, I guess you could say, but I'm pretty sure that Ware's not going to be in the starting lineup. So basically, just bam matchup and stuff. You look at the 2 games against the Heat, 5 field goal attempts. I don't know, man. Seems a little bit high. Like I said, with Paulo on, I think the ball just gets so sticky too. I don't think that's he's not going to see a usage increase with no Franz. I don't think really.
Yeah, I agree. Looking here for you, the second half of last game against the Knicks, which is important because Franz missed that half. You had Tyus Jones play 8 minutes. You had Anthony Black play 16 minutes and have a 33% usage rate. You saw Paolo with a 24% usage rate, Bain with a 16% usage rate, Suggs with a 23% usage rate. I think a couple of things there are fake. Black's not going to have a 33% usage rate here, although Miami have in the past left guys open. So it would not surprise me if they employ that with Black, especially considering he, against them the other day, he played and took 9 shots, shot 2 of 9 from the field.
Shot 12 free throws.
12 free throws. I like Paolo's under because I think Magic now actually have a lot of guys who can scale up their offense without him, even without Franz. And I think Paolo will be at 28, 30 minutes. So I like Paolo unders a lot. But yeah, I do agree. I like Wendell unders. Yeah, I think you're right. I wish it was 12.5, but I do agree.
Yeah, I wish it was 12.5 too. 11.5, like, yeah, that's not like anything eye-popping. Okay, so it looks like I kind of got some negative CLV on Ware, or not negative, but let's go over to Miami Heat. Liam, I want your opinions on some Heat stuff. So obviously, we talk about this every single damn time with the Magic and stuff, and like, if you get usage against them, you're probably going to be, in a pretty good spot. But Liam, what's your thoughts on Heat stuff here? Whether it's minutes, whether it's like, we know how fast they play and like how they like to spread minutes out a little bit. Do you think they scale up the starters' minutes, or do you think they kind of like do the same thing? Or
I think they do the same thing minutes-wise, because like their superpower is sort of the pace they play at, and that is something that you're able to get because of having guys fresh. Very similar to Pacers, like Pacers the last couple seasons. Even in the playoffs, like they're playing like mid-30s, low 30s for the starters, because like the intensity you play at, you need guys fresh, or it just doesn't work. So I think that'll stick. I think the minutes won't rise massively, and I think they're pretty well-rounded. Like they've got an easy 10-guy rotation that, I mean, Hero, Bam, Wiggins, Powell, Mitchell, Ware, Jaquez, Larson, Fontecchio. That's 9 that will play. And then you've got Drew Smith, who's been playing, and Jovic, who could play. Probably won't, but could. So, yeah, I think they've got a pretty easy 10-man rotation. Could be 11. But I like them in this spot here.
Yep. Like them on the spread?
Like them on the spread.
Okay.
Hang on, Ty. I'm getting something up. The touches quickly in the game that Hero have played. Trying to get it up here. We got 3. Keep talking. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Okay. So one thought that I have. So guys, if you guys didn't know, didn't watch my video earlier, I'm on Ware unders. I played his under rebounds. Honestly, guys, if I could go back and do it now, though, I would probably play his points and rebounds under at 17.5, I think. So basically my reasoning behind this is, so there's been like 3 games. So the Heat are at full strength. Like they legit do not have a single soul on the injury report right now. Well, they all got ruled in. They're all probable to begin with. Khalil came off the bench on all those games. I think that, if Khalil's coming off the bench, there's going to be very minimal overlap with Bam. And although I do think the Heat play pretty similar minutes, I do think Bam is just by far their most important player, their best player. I think Bam probably plays 34 minutes here. So that's 14 minutes of Ware. And then, like I said, I think there's minimal overlap since they're not starting alongside each other anymore, maybe 6 minutes or so. So basically, guys, I have Ware playing 20 minutes.
Ware is not starting.
He's not starting?
No.
Okay, good stuff. So yeah, I really like this, man. And now that he's confirmed not starting, it's if you do Ware with 15 to 25 minutes. And guys, Ware's also dead last on the team in net rating. He's a very inconsistent player, dude. A lot of times he just doesn't bring it. Honestly, in my opinion, from betting on him a lot, Spo clearly just doesn't trust him. So
yeah,
this is under 8.5 rebounds with 15 to 25 minutes. This is under 17.5 PR with 15 to 25 minutes. Should be a little bit slower pace than usual, given it's a cup game. Magic are a pretty damn good defensive team. So yeah,
I think that's a good point. Spo doesn't trust him, and it's pretty clear. He gets yanked a lot. He doesn't close game. Even last year when he was in the starting lineup, there's a lot of times when he'd play well and he wouldn't close games. So I agree. I don't think they'll share many minutes together. So I think that's a really good bet.
Yeah, I think it's some solid shit. Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little bit curious, man. So off the bench, they don't have any Pell Larson lines, any Fontecchio lines listed. Do you know what do you have Jaime Jaquez at? Because Liam, this is kind of my take on Jaime. I think he's obviously not going to start, and you have Paulo on a minute restriction. But I do think that just from a physical standpoint, how Jaime's built, he's a pretty strong guy. He's 6'8". I think he actually matches up with Paul fairly decent, to be honest.
He does. He definitely does. I think the way to look at this the best is if you look at the 2 games that everyone's been healthy. One was a really close game against the Bucks where Jaquez played well. He shot 67%, 50% from the field. Not like he was bricking. and he only played 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you look at the other game against the Clippers, they won pretty easily, and he played 21 minutes. So off that, I would find it hard to bet an under, like actually put money on. Sorry, bet an over. I actually put money on it, seeing that we saw games with Hero playing, and with Hero, Powell, Bam, Wiggins, Ware, Fontecchio, Davion, and Paul Larson all playing. He hasn't exceeded 21 minutes, and that included a blowout and included a close game where he played well in that close game. So I'd find it hard betting on the over, although I do like the thought process, and I do agree. I think it's a good spot. It's also a spot where you kind of need some self creation, and that's what he can do. So I do agree. He makes sense in the matchup. I'll say that.
I kind of think it would make more sense to go him over Wiggins personally. That's just me though. I don't think Wiggins matches.
I've actually got some numbers about Wiggins. That's interesting. So I don't think they recorded front court. I don't know recorded touches for one of the games Hero played, but 2 games that Hero played, the leader in front court touches was Wiggins, averaging 34.5. And that's important because that's
really
how many times you touch the ball in the front court. Yeah. So Wiggins and Jaquez were the leaders at 34.5. And then you had Hero at 29 on average between the two. You had Bam at 28.5, Powell at 27, Davion Mitchell at 26.5. I do think that goes to show how the Heat offense is so spread out. Like it's so you've got over 2 game sample size. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 6 guys within 9 touches of each other, which are all the leaders. So Jaquez makes sense because he's sort of the leader of the bench unit, and in those 2 games he only averaged. Actually, that's actually very interesting. In those 2 games, so that was the Clippers and the Bucks game, where he averaged 21 minutes, and he led the team in touches at 34.5, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. Liam, one thing I want to say too about this. So yeah, Mitchell, Hero, Powell, Wiggins, Bam, Suggs. Oh, Anthony Black got the start over De Silva, which is actually very damn okay. So here's one thing. So I think Liam, and I think we both kind of caught on to this too. It's like when the Heat start Ware at the center versus when the Heat start Bam at the center, it's just like night and day with like their coverages and stuff. Like it's Ware's in a deep drop versus Bam just like absolutely like shutting like the entire pick and roll down kind of. Like if you're a handler, you're not just like gonna walk into stuff. If you're a roll man, it's kind of tough. Yeah, I think you're on mute.
My bad. I was blowing my nose and I didn't want to do it, and I forgot I didn't take it off. But Bam switches. Switches, or just like, or he plays at the level and like you don't get shit off. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Bane? Because do you think does that like change an opinion on Bane or anything, or like Paulo or? It doesn't. Well, I expected them to do this, so it doesn't really change any opinions, to be honest. But I think, yeah. I mean, I don't think they'll overlap much because Magic don't really go double big often. They do a little bit in the second unit. They go Isaac and Batadze at times, but Isaac isn't a lock to play. So yeah, I think his minutes. I've got him at 16 minutes here, and I've got Bam at 34. So I just did my stuff, and I've got maybe 2 minutes of overlap potentially, and but other than that, no, because you haven't seen them do it much.
What do you have Anthony Black at? Because people are asking Anthony Black over 8.5 rebounds and assists, and like I mean. I don't know what's gotten into him. Like I said, to be honest, the Magic, our team, like I genuinely like do not keep up with whatsoever. I don't know if there's like quotes on like, Mosley, like, oh yeah, we want Anthony to like crash the glass and get the ball and go or something. But he's been.
He's always been really active. I think it'd be. I've got him at 32 minutes. The caveat there though with him, if you're betting an over in this sort of game, I think there's a massive chance where Heat sort of cheat off him. And he takes 6 threes in the first half and makes 1 of them. And then you might see Magic move away from him in the rotation. What's in his favor, though, is the Hero Powell being guarded by Black and Suggs is a big plus. So it is interesting. I do worry about I don't like Magic in this game. I just don't think they've got enough shooting at all. And I know that's always been their problem, but I do think this is a team that will force them to make shots, and I don't think they will make shots. Well,
Yeah.
I think I'll just shoot average.
So Anthony Black, and I kind of wish this was a little bit of a better number, but I agree with you completely. I think Paul is absolutely going to see doubles like on post ups and just like aggressive gap help on drives. And yeah, like Spoelstra absolutely will leave a non-shooter or a fringe shooter like pretty wide open. Anthony Black absolutely is the guy in that starting lineup to leave open. And yeah, only got up 2 threes last time, shot 0 for 2. Like I said, I wish this was like plus 150 kind of. But Liam, do you have an opinion on 1.5 threes for Anthony Black?
I like it. I'm not a threes better, but I like it.
Yeah. I'm a big threes better I'm a threes better in general. But I really love like betting like scrubs at like plus money for threes when you like know they're gonna be like left open. So I think that makes a little bit of sense. Let's see. Okay, let's try that again. What the hell? Okay, cool. Well, hey guys, we are 20 minutes in right now, and if you guys do want to, or if you guys do like this type of content, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, follow myself on Twitter, follow Liam on Twitter. I have his Twitter down below, all that good stuff. Liam, let's move over to Knicks and Raptors. And looks like I guess we don't have news on Emmanuel Quickly quite yet. I want your take, man. I really, really like this guy's under. I really, really like Brandon Ingram under 23.5 points. Obviously, you want Quickly in for that, and you're probably not going to be able to get like both worlds, Quickly in and this number, or confirmation that Quickly's in and this number. But I think just like the way the Knicks defend, first of all, I think he's going to get guarded by OG, who is like absolutely someone with like a very low center of gravity that you can't just like get to your spots on OG, right? He's like going to bump you off your spots. And I remember watching Ingram. This is like so long ago, but in the playoffs against OKC 2 years ago, I remember watching Dort guard him, and like this dude, like with a physical defender, like he just can't get to like a spot to save his life. And on top of that, the Knicks scheme is like aggressive gaps, as you can see. Don't allow shit in like the mid range. Don't allow shit in like the short or in the painted area, like that short mid range area either. Yeah, it just like I think that this is an absolutely brutal matchup. He had 14 points on 32 minutes without RJ earlier. Even made a couple threes in that game too. But yeah, what's your thoughts here on Ingram? Because this is probably my strongest lean that I haven't played today.
I do like it. I like it a lot. Interesting thing, which is why you definitely should wait for Quickly, is so Brandon Ingram usage rate with RJ off the floor goes from a 27.9 to a 30.7. Yep. If you add Quickly off, then it goes to a 30.4. So it actually drops. So Quickly being off the floor hasn't impacted his usage in like a 170-minute sample size of Quickly and RJ both being off. So what could happen is he might get ruled out, which I usually, when guys get listed questionable on the day with illness, they get ruled out more times than not. So if that happens, you actually might get a better number. But I do agree. I like it a lot, and I'm gonna bet it. I'm probably gonna bet it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna bet it too.
We've got tape from how they just defended him. And they did that. Like that's literally exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And,
and OG didn't even play that game.
Yeah, sorry, not OG, but they didn't allow him to go 1-on-1. They were filling in the gaps. They were shrinking the court. And Ingram, the way he beats it, I reckon, is one, you need him to get hot from three because he will get left open at times, just the way it works. And he's not that good of a shooter. Or you're going to need him to hit really tough shots.
Yep. Which could happen. That's just betting.
Yeah, that's betting.
Yeah, only scares me is the drop. So the Knicks actually don't play drop coverage anymore. Like, I mean, first of all, like if they did play drop coverage, they would be allowing a lot of like mid-range stuff. But if you watch Cat, he's actually like playing up at the level like every time. It's like a Mike Brown thing. Like they don't want to allow anything. They don't want to allow anybody to like really get to the rim on them at all. So if you like look at their chart, it's like they're just like a massive 3-point funnel. So, and which is tough, man, because Liam, the Raptors like who the hell are you gonna like trust to make a three? You got like Jamal Shed, who's kind of a spot up guy, might not even play. He has a quad contusion. Liam, I don't know if you've ever gotten kneed in the quad before, but I did once. And I kind of walked like a week.
Fucking hurts.
It hurts like hell. And you got Jacoby Walter, who played 12 minutes last game. Someone who I did sprinkle on was Ochai to hit a three, and he's been dog shit, dude. Like if he's literally shooting 10% from deep this year.
Yeah.
But I think so he played like 10 first half minutes without even doing anything special last game. I think there's some upside for people to miss, and I think he's like the perfect like spot up guy. Like that fits this mold of player that I'm looking to bet on against the Knicks to hit a three.
I like it.
Ingram under points probably with 2 threes. What's that +3? Damn, yeah. I like that, dude. I do like that.
I agree. Agree with everything you say.
Yeah. Mitchell said no. I actually disagree with that hot sauce. Mitch can move, dude. Like he's sneakily pretty switchable. Like he's pretty mobile. I remember seeing him switch onto like Tatum, I think it was in the playoffs last year, and just like clamping the hell out of him.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think he's really good. In this game, what's interesting is, by the way, what's the spread in this one? Did it change with quickly Q? Is it still -4 or not?
No, it's 5.5.
5. Okay, yeah, that changed. But I think the Knicks are way better than the Raptors, and I know it's in Toronto, but definitely lean that side on the spread, Knicks side.
Yep. Liam, what's your take on this? And I'm gonna open up my glorious B365 account right now. But this is so I have Mitch Robinson, and I just think any game with like significant leverage, like that, there's some significant scouting going on. Because what is this dude shooting, dude? Like, I genuinely, what is this dude shooting from the stripe this year? He's shooting 17% from the free throw line this year. And here's the thing too, he's gonna go up against like the Mamukashvili whatever second unit. And he did that. Pirtle didn't play in this game, but I mean, Mitch already had a game where he had 7 offensive rebounds, 15 rebounds in 17 minutes against them. Like I said, Mitch should play a decent amount too, because I mean, Liam, I kind of want your take on this, but the Knicks bench is like, it's guys like Clarkson, who, to be honest, I don't think they want to play him too much in any game with leverage, just because he's a terrible defender. Then it's Mitch. Then it's like Kolak, who is he even going to play tonight? Like probably, because I don't know. And then like Yabu, who's been terrible, like Huck Porty. I don't know, man. What do you think this like Knicks minute distribution looks like?
I think the Knicks with them, like obviously you've got the guys that are absolute locks. I think at times it's also game flow related, so it's a bit tough to predict before. But you might get out there and you might have Mamu playing against Mitch Robinson, and Mamu hits his first three threes, and Knicks are like, "Fuck, we've got to change something here." Or vice versa, you might get you might get Robinson just absolutely crushing the O-glass, which is highly likely, and he plays extended minutes, and you might see you might see Yucca play a bit more. You might see Colin Murray-Boyles play a little bit. They don't really have any other bigs other than like Jonathan Mogbo, who doesn't play, and he won't play here. But I think it's a really good spot for Robinson.
Yeah. Damn, dude. So B365, I don't see free throws attempted anymore. Damn, bro.
Really?
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. They had it. I wonder if they just like don't have it on this Knicks game because of like Mitch or something. Let's see. Do they have it on the Heat game? No, dude. Looks like B365 removed the free throws attempted market. That's what I was looking for on Mitch, guys. I think that he gets intentionally fouled here, honestly. Mitch's first quarter.
I agree with you. Definitely agree.
What was it at Daft? Like 1.5, 2.5?
Oh, yeah. Wait, are you talking about his free throws? I think it was 0.5.
Dude, his free throws was like against the Celtics.
It was 0.5 today, I think. I swear I saw it somewhere.
Oh, really? Did people nuke it? 1.5 at plus money? Jeez, dude. Greetings from Sacramento. Hey, Harry Potter, Black Harry Potter. I appreciate you for tuning in, but I'm also praying for you. You got to watch.
Condolences.
Got to watch.
Sorry, mate, condolences. Wait, who's a worse run franchise? The Pelicans or the Kings?
The Kings, I think, by a smidge.
Yeah.
The Pelicans have actually they've actually had like some chances, dude. Like they've just been like, if Zion didn't like turn out the way he turned out, I think that kind of cooked everything for them, you know. Like they had a roster like 2 years ago.
True. Just
Liam, what's your opinion on OG Anunoby stuff?
Let me look at the lines. I haven't done this game yet. OG. So he's played the last couple, 23, then 28 minutes. Do you have him on a minute limit here?
So here's the thing. I don't know if he's on a minute limit because he played like if you go to like the popcorn machine, right, and look at his like game flow chart.
Yeah.
He got into foul trouble. He only played 10 first half minutes, so he played 18 second half minutes.
Okay.
Which
what was he out with?
Hamstring, which is like So he played 6 minutes stint. He played so look at his first stint of the game without a foul. It was at 3 minutes, and then he played. So the longest stint was that. Is that Josh Hart that I'm over? Oh no, OG. Okay, so OG played kind of a 6 minute, 2 minute, 8 minute stint. I don't know. He played really good minutes in the second half. First half was foul trouble. It is a cup game. I don't think they overload him with minutes, but I probably think that, if everything goes to plan, maybe he's up to like 30, 32 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
maybe higher.
Maybe.
But he's not like a star where where they're playing and have a big load as well. So you often see those guys, they play higher minutes much quicker.
One person who I think has a super, super high minute ceiling here, and I'm talking about like 40 minutes or so if things go right, is Macau. So I hate betting on Macau, dude. I feel like I just literally will never win like a Macau bet in my life. But it's a great matchup for him. I think they're going to be really aggressive on Brunson. Is that what you're kind of thinking too?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Raptors. Yeah, Raptors. Pretty poor against spot up. And yeah, if you just look at Macau, you do with Cat and Brunson, you do Macau with 30 to 40 minutes or something, which I think is genuinely his range. I don't know what you'd have him at. I'd probably have him for 35. I don't know, maybe 36.
I don't know.
Because they don't have Deuce McBride. Their bench is shallow. It's really shallow. So yeah, I don't know, Liam. What's your thought here? I mean, if you do this sample size, like I said,
I completely agree. I think this is a spot where we've seen them in the past do it under Darko. We saw it again this year under Darko. Very aggressive against Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
And in that game, as a result, you saw you didn't see Bridges get a ton of stuff, but you saw Cat get 15 shots. I think, was that the game? Yeah, it was. That was the game Hart played well. So Hart will get left open a little bit. Yeah, they'll be very aggressive against Brunson, and then naturally, as a result, the ball will find Bridges more. So yeah, it's a really good Bridges spot, I reckon.
Yeah, and then it's this sample size, right? I mean, it's a 16-game sample. He's averaging 27.3 PR on 35.6 minutes. All pretty encouraging stuff. I mean, his floor game has been 19 PRA in this sample, right? And then 9. If this was 19 and a half, it would be looking pretty good. But yeah. I agree here. Bridges makes a ton of sense. His RA has been pretty good too. He's been doing a little bit of rebounding and assisting. So I think I'd want to put all that in, capture it all with the minute upside. All right, Liam. Another question I want to ask you here is, do you think that the Raptors are going to put Barnes on Cat and Pirtle on Hart?
I think that's a possibility. I think they'll switch up their stuff, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say something about these NBA Cup games. I think it's also important to remember, we betting, we treat them like this is they really want to win. Of course they want to win, because I think they still count towards the regular season. So of course they want to win. But I think as the NBA Cup goes on throughout the years, and I've seen examples of it this year. I remember there was a semi-final or a quarterfinal game last year. I forgot which one it was, but I don't think they care about it as much as what we say or what we think. Some teams. I think there were games this year when how when we're capping this sort of stuff and throughout the regular season, we're like, oh, well, starters might get pushed a bit more because of the point differential thing. There were heaps of games this year where the starters are out with 4 minutes to go, and it was a 20-point game, 25-point game. So, yes, might be different here, but I do remember there was a semi-final last year, forgot which one it was, or a quarterfinal, where I remember before the game, the coach was asked a question, and he was like, no, you know what, to be honest, we don't really treat it any differently. It's just because it's a regular season game. If we get to the final, we'll treat that differently, that sort of thing. But So, and the reason I say that is because we talk about this like all like the sort of schemes we'd see in the playoffs, like, playing a big on a non-shooter, aka Pirtle on Hart, playing a wing on Cat, which is what we saw Boston do it last year. We've seen a lot of teams do it to success. So but I do think, yes, I think they will. But I'm just saying be careful because, like, not always these teams do the stuff you'd think they'd see in the playoffs just because it's the NBA Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah. So, Liam, I want your take on this too, guys. This is an official play, and it's at a very, very playable number, actually a better number than I got it at. So, a little bit of negative CLV on my side, but 17.5 points and rebounds for Pirtle, Liam. So, I do think that he's needed in this game. So he's had some minute restriction games. I think he had an injury game as well. He's had 26.2 minutes, combined with the cup, and just like I think that the Mamu minutes might be a disaster. Like if they try to like overload him and he's guarding Cat or he's getting punked by Mitch on the glass or something. So I do think that Pirtle probably plays 26 to 30 minutes here. That's kind of where I have him at. And he just is so, and you kind of put me on with this, is that when like Pirtle plays minutes, he just tends to absolutely crush. So I'm not saying it's a good PR per minute matchup. I think it's a decent rebound per minute matchup if he can roam off Hart. But once I saw this, and I just couldn't resist personally.
Yeah, it's interesting because you look at his minutes over the last 3 games and you're like, fuck, he's played 25 minutes in a close one against Boston. He's played 23 minutes in a blowout, and then he's played 26 minutes in a close one against Portland. You're like, fuck, is he on the minutes limit? But what's actually happened is, like, it's been sort of game flow related. Like last game against Boston, Mamu Kalashvili was fucking scorching hot. I think he had like 10 points before halftime. So as a result, you downsize a little bit because you don't really care about Cater, that sort of thing. But I do agree. This is a matchup where it makes total sense where Pirtle should be playing. And I don't think he's on a minutes limit, but yeah, I think this is a really good minute spot. But like you said, it's a pretty garbage PR per minute spot, in my opinion.
Yeah. Unless he gets that Hart matchup. If he gets it, then he can make it up with like a 11 rebound game or something,
Any Americans who live bet, this is a really good live bet spot, I reckon.
Yep. If you see, and look at his PRA hit rate too at 19.5. That's actually crazy. Yeah, but what was that, Liam? If you see Hart getting guarded by Pirtle on the first possession, you take Pirtle over rebounds and Hart.
Yeah, I'll just take his PR stuff then because I think his points. I think his points are good. It's more the rebounding stuff that will be a bit tough with Robinson.
Yeah, but that also, Liam. Also, what do you think about this? I know you're not a rebound better. But like if you go like the anti thing, it's like, I don't think Mamu is going to play that much. I'm going to put him at 15 to 23 minutes or something. I don't know. And then you do that, and it's like, okay, and these minutes are probably going to be mainly overlapping with Mitch minutes too. Could you sell yourself on a under 4.5 rebounds for Mamu?
I need to do my stuff for it, but yeah, I mean, it sounds good in theory. Yeah. I'd just take his PR, to be honest. I just think he's not playing that much. Yeah.
Except that does I feel like Mamu actually maybe is a guy who could like take advantage of the Knicks' poor spot up defense. That's like the one thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he played against them without Jakob a couple of weeks back and had 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Had 9 shots in 27 minutes, but he won't get 27 minutes here. I can guarantee that.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Do we have anything else here? Okay. I think we're chilling. Liam, do you have any other like hot takes on this game or anything, or on any of these?
Not really hot takes. Like Miami to win. That's an official bet for me. I think it's a really bad Ingram spot. Think it's a bad Paolo spot with the line set. Think power lines are a bit high. Think it's a bad Ware spot. Will be interesting to see if Miami run a 10-man or a 9-man rotation. So that's something to look out early. That'll, for those on Ware unders, that'll tell you the story of if it's an easy watch or you might need to bring a towel and some deodorant because you'll be sweating a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's just cool to have games that matter, even if the teams might, they might not totally care as much as we do. But yeah, it'll be cool. I think the Hornets announcer is on Amazon Prime tonight, which is pretty cool as well. So he'll be on national tally. That's a cool little wrinkle.
Yeah, Eric Collins, the GOAT. Yeah, no, that'll be fun.
He's in your area, mate.
Yeah, dude. Charlotte legend Eric Collins. Dammy, recap on plays was Liam was the Heat money line. Mine was Ware under 8.5 rebounds, which starts in a little bit. Pirtle over 17.5 points and rebounds. And a very, very strong opinion of ours, we have two of them that we kind of are aligned on, is Ingram under 23.5 points and Bridges over 22.5 PRA. So don't know if any of those are going to end up being officials. My gut's telling me the Ingram one is. Just kind of want to like make sure I'm catching a good number on that with like the quickly stuff up in there. But as Liam mentioned, like his usage literally doesn't change at all if quickly's off too. So
it actually drops in a massive, well, not a massive, but it actually drops a smidge in a 200-minute sample size.
Yep, which is some good stuff. Okay, cool guys. Well, cool little 45-minute stream. As always, Liam, thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure to give Liam a follow on X at Ozbets. It's linked down below. And yeah, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel on your way out. Liam, is there anything you got to say before you head?
I hope everyone wins their bets today, and I think we'll be doing this again tomorrow, right?
Yeah, yep. For what is it? Who plays tomorrow?
My boys.
Suns and Thunder, and then
that's a garbage game.
Yeah, that is a garbage game. And then Spurs and Lakers, dude. Oh, that's going to be a good one with Wemby potentially being back.
Yeah, that will come out in the next 2 hours, I think.
The funny thing is, okay, well, he's going to be questionable, I can guarantee. And this game's going to be unbettable until you know if Wemby's playing.
100%, yeah. Which is why because he'll be questionable tomorrow when we're. Oh, maybe might get announced at shoot around, so we might have a bit of a clue. But if he does play, he'll be on a minute limit. We saw Castle yesterday, who was on like a 24-minute limit, although a bit ambiguous because I think maybe the reason he only played 24 minutes was because Harper was playing so well. So we just went with Harper and Fox, which, that will happen at times this year. But yeah, I don't think he'd play more than 28 minutes. Wemby.
I'm looking at these openers, and they don't have a line for it yet. But I feel like I'm about to donate money on Castle threes again tomorrow.
They're gonna
JJ Redick against a non-shooter.
Well, we already played against them this year. I need to watch back what they did. But
Castle got up 5 threes in 6.
Funny that they've got Wemby's point line at 20.5, which means I think it's a mixture of one. When we played at LA, they were fucking really aggressive on him. With mixed in with the minutes limit, but still that seems like, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, this is a minute limit line, 100%, dude. Yeah. Like this is like a Wemby plays. What does he average on the year? 34. This is like a Wemby's playing like 26 minutes. Line.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this will be fun.
I think the books think he's going to play.
I think they do too. Because Fox wouldn't be at 21.5.
Fox would not be at 21.5. The Cell would not be at 13.5.
Yeah. Bucks think he plays.
Fuck yes.
I think he's been healthy. You keep up with the Spurs, right? Like you're like,
yeah, he has been healthy.
They're just being conservative. They weren't going to bring him back versus the Pels.
Exactly. I think what also it has been is because initially it was a 2 to 3 week injury, and it's been like a month now. But I think what happened is since he's been out, we went like 8-3. So the team's like, well, they're winning. Just be all extra cautious.
Is OKC getting everyone back too? It's like they're all game time decisions.
They might. I think they've had all their guys healthy the whole season, to be honest. They just haven't played them. They just said, yeah, this guy's sore. We don't need him. This guy's sore. We don't need him.
Oh, yep. Alex, you stubbed your toe the other day. Like, you got a mosquito bite and just like take this next week off. We'll be fine. We don't need you until it's like game 7.
Shea hurt his funny bone. You can miss the last game, mate.
You don't have to play against Yusuf Nurkic.
Yeah, we'll still beat them by what? What did they beat them by? Fucking 30, 40?
Beat them. Yeah, I beat them by 30. I feel like it was
more than that game was 10 points.
Did you bet it?
No, it was very close to, but I didn't. But I fucking should have.
Yeah.
Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but
hindsight is 2020. Yep. No. Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. You said Booker under 22.5. That sounds pretty good to me, to be honest. Yeah. I think that sounds good against OKC. Yeah.
What I will say there is he's only missed 10 days or 8 days. So what might happen is in the press conference, you might get a scenario where they ask if he's going to be on a minute limit, and then Ott says, no, he's not going to be, and that shoots up to 23 and a half, 24 and a half.
Yeah, let's see. He closed 23 and a half against OKC at plus 100. So I think that's probably, and then what he had 21, kind of shot poor. OKC, low-key, like, they're not like super insane against number ones anymore. They're just like insane about keeping people out of the paint. That's what I realized. They just don't give up shit at the rim. You're a pull-up shooter. They'll kind of let you like get your shots up, honestly, dude.
Yeah, agree. Shit mid-range shots, they're pretty smart.
Yeah. Mark Williams under, though. Actually, 9.5. Wow. Okay.
The
cool.
books are
Well,
smart,
Liam, what's up?
The books are getting better.
They are. That's actually like an insanely sharp line. Like after all these damn games he's had of good points. So he's at 13 points at 25 minutes, and they have him at 9.5.
I should probably lean the over.
I actually do too, dude. Are you shitting me? Like, especially without Hardenstein. Like, they've been like a little more vulnerable without Hardenstein. So
sure.
We'll see. Okay. Well, once again, Liam, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, follow Liam on X, and we will catch you guys tomorrow.